Hello Pokemon fans, this is ProPokeNoob back today to bring you another battle. Actually, it's going to be a couple of battles because today I've decided to give you a double header. That's what it's called. So my exams are done. I finally have time to upload. Sorry that I've been away for a while, but I would like to direct your attention to an upload that I did previous to this one. I will leave the link in the video and in the description because it is a very important one to both spectators and uploaders. Don't look at the title per se. It applies to everyone. Everyone should know about it. But today I wanted to bring you something special. I actually had something in the ways of a build-a-team plan today, but apparently I don't have a good enough battle for either of the teams that I do want to show off. So instead I decided to bring you a doubleheader. This is actually a pretty fun match, or a fun couple of matches. It's going to be against, they're both UU matches, against the first person being Riaz and the second person being Tierfing, a guy who hasn't been here forever. But these matches were taken a long time ago, and I kept them because I want to remind everyone the power of hazard stacking. And as you will see, there will be two conditions. So the first condition being in the sand, and the second condition having a trick room team, because both of them are quite susceptible to having to switch a lot, especially with hazards being up. So I will explain them a little bit more in detail and kind of remind you guys the power of hazard stacking. We might have forgotten it because Deoxys Defense has left UU since then, but these are a couple of teams you don't see me using very often. In fact, they were dropped a long time ago, but they did have some viability back when I used them. The only difference being that I use a Spiritomb in the second match, and you'll see why. But other than that, I don't really, to be quite honest, remember how the match went. I watched it, but I don't remember what I was thinking about in the ways of leads. And again, this wasn't a little bit more of my noob phase, so I don't really have that much skill in what I chose. So both times, I'm just gonna, actually, the first time I'm gonna lead off with Scolipede, second time I'm gonna lead off with Spiritomb. Mainly because I guess Scolipede, you know, I see that Toxic Spikes would be nice against most of his bulky pokes there, and Spiritomb would be nice because I see that he has Musharna and Bandit, and I knew it was a Trick Room team, and he actually has Executor, so all three of them are weak to Dark, so I want to lock him in with Pursuit. But other than that, let's get to the first match being Riaz, and I will see you there. So, like I said, this is going to be just a couple of fun matches, so I'm not really going to narrate too much into them or put any big detail into it. I'm going to be pointing out some key features, though. I'm going to make this also a little educational because a lot of people kind of underestimate the power of stall teams. Now, I know a lot of people find it a little boring. I mean, you know, you just have a whole bunch of walls and you're just trying to, you know, screw around with people. But there is a little bit of power behind stall, and as you will see, it depends on the team because, you know, me being kind of a stall-y player, kind of more defensive player, like to play with stuff like sashes and big bulk and stuff like that, I've learned quite a bit about what you want to stack with hazards and stuff like this and what you're looking for, even in tiers, because I said before that you don't see a lot of hazard stacking. I would actually argue that there has been a lot of hazard stacking lately that I've been fighting anyways. I don't know if people are just bringing it on the off chance, and I'm lucky as always to find that, but it's no longer just centralized in UU like it used to be with Deoxys Defense and Roserade. Now it's actually, I've seen it in OU, I've seen it in RU, I don't see it in NU. NU is still just Stealth Rocks because everything's just weak to that anyways. But it's all over the place now, so I might as well just educate you guys a little bit on what I see as hazards, because again, you know, I speak from what I know. Doesn't necessarily mean I know everything, it might be wrong, but this is why I talk about it and you guys can comment on it. So, essentially when you're using hazards, right, you need to watch out for a couple of things. First of all, what type of team they actually have. If you see there are certain threats on their team that need to be weakened a lot, then obviously you're going to need a lot of hazards, which means that you're going to want to protect your setup pokes. Okay, now there's also the possibility of being able to sweep an entire team with hazards, and in both these battles you guys will be watching, hopefully, you will see at one point that the whole team will just fall, and it's very fun actually, because it actually takes a lot of thinking and you have to pretty much analyze a team. So if you see a lot of attackers, more of an aggressive team, generally, for example, you're going to want to set up one layer of Toxic Spikes. Why? Because if they're going to be switching out a lot with a lot of choice Pokemon, let's say Glacial Cataclysm, there you go. then obviously you're not going to want to set up 2 layers of Toxic Spikes because they'll be taking half the damage that you actually want them to have. So I would set up 1 layer of Toxic Spikes, let's say. In a team like this, where he has Porygon 2 and Hippopotas as the main threats to my team, I do want to set up 2 layers of Toxic Spikes just to get the Toxic off. On top of that, I know Weavile has leftovers, so that's another good thing because it means it's going to want to stay in, and Victini is going to be switching out, and the problem with him, with Victini in here, is he's going to get hurt by Stealth Rocks a lot too. And plus, now that he set up the Sandstorm, this becomes even more dangerous, which is another thing. You want to look at weather conditions. If you find hail or sand weather conditions, then definitely you're going to want to set up a lot of hazards, because even with leftovers will be negated, Black Sludge will be negated, and even if they're healing up, as you see, I'm just setting up still because I know his last 3 Pokemon need to be weakened to heck. So, for me to even stand a chance at weakening and even like taking them out, I'm gonna need to set up in their face. Plus, it offers me the opportunity, right? So, in something like the Sands, a lot of hazards like this is good. Now, you also want to look at how aggressive, like, you know, you have to find opportune moments. So for any of you being aspiring stall players, I hope you're enjoying this so far. But in a situation like this where Porygon 2 is attacking a Deoxys defense, not going to find it often in OU, but in a case where you find something like, you know, someone uses Rest, but they're not a Rest Talk set. This would be a very good opportunity to send in a poke and get at least 1 layer of anything up, right? Your Rocks up, get 1 layer of Spikes up, Toxic Spikes, whatever you want. Obviously, because you have that opportunity. Now, another good opportunity are Choice Pokemon. Now, Choice Pokemon, obviously, you want to watch out for the power, right? Choice Scarf is generally the best, depending on how bulky your setup poke is. If your Pokemon is a fairly bulky poke that can take a couple of hits, setting up 1 layer before they have to switch out is pretty nice. Banded and Specs I find a little bit more difficult, mainly because you have to be able to take the hit, and you need to be able to take the right typing of the hit. So, generally what you're going to want to watch out for is if a hit is going to be too strong where setting up is just going to doom your team because you're too focused on getting your hazards, then it wasn't worth it, right? So, as you're going to see now, basically his team is weakened to the point where Porygon 2 is going to fall and Rotom's going to fall. So, you know, I used that opportunity, especially with Porygon 2, to set up those spikes, and then as a result of the Sandstorm and just being able to hit him with the Nightshades, it is going to take out their team. Now let's go into this example. Trick Room teams. This is another very interesting team to set up a lot of hazards on. You won't find a lot of Trick Room teams, but if you do, have fun with this. So, anyways, just to explain this set on my Spiritomb, it's Taunt, Torment, Pursuit, and Will-O-Wisp. And the reason for that was, if you find a Pokemon that's choiced, you can Torment them, and for some reason it doesn't work. I thought it would work a little bit differently, but basically what you can do on a normal Pokemon, taunt them so they can only use attacking moves, and then Torment them so that they have to keep switching moves. So in other words, it might really mess up their team, and that actually works with a hazard stacking team. Because if they have to keep switching up moves, you can kind of read the patterns of their attacks. I don't know why. He went for normal gem explosion, by the way, because he didn't know that the rule changed where it cut the defense in half. It doesn't do that anymore, so he didn't know that. He thought he could take out Regirock with that. But anyways, oh dear, what was I saying? That's great. Anyways, in a situation like this with the Trick Room team, right? A main thing about it is, wow, I've just lost it all. Oh dang. Anyways, I'm not stopping now. Let's go. With a Trick Room team, they have to switch out a lot. First off, they set up Trick Room, and then they have to switch out to a Poke. That's why I have Taunt Torment, because what happens is you can read the pattern of their moves, and then you can work around sending out the proper hazard setter upper. So, Deoxys defense obviously can come on to someone like a Rampardos. Rampardos has a Shell Bell, so definitely I can take the hits from this thing. However, he is going for Outrage, and another good thing about Deoxys defense when you got to use it was it had Recover. Anything with recovery that's instantaneous, so like even a Resto Chesto bulky Roserade, if you can pull that off, also is very nice. Why would you run Resto Chesto? Just in those situations, but you know, that's up to you to decide. But anyways, at times like this, I'm easy. Like I said, you have that opportunity to set up. You might as well, and then you also should scout for moves and stuff like that throughout the team. So when you're trying to build a stall team revolving around hazards, generally what you're going to want to do is, again, you got to read the opponent, figure out what you can set up on, coax that Pokemon out, or just get out on that Pokemon, and even just getting one layer up at a time, no matter how long it takes. Remember, every time you get a layer up and they have to switch, they're taking damage. And every time you're switching when they don't have Hazards up, that's another benefit, right? Generally, you're going to want a spinner. On these teams, I don't have a spinner, which was a mistake at times, because when people played the same game against me, I didn't do anything about it. I couldn't do anything about it. And that's the whole point that I'm relying on, right? Now, at a time like this with 3 spikes up and a Stealth Rocks, I don't care if the spinner switches in to spin them away. That spinner's going to take a lot of damage. I don't care how bulky it is. That's 25% plus 13%. That's 37% damage that they're taking, which is a lot. So, that's why I like stall teams so much. Like, if you get them trapped, they're toast. And as you will see in this battle, which we are getting to close at hand, it can become quite dangerous. So, you guys should, give it a try. I mean, not many people like to watch stall teams, so if you're an uploader, you might not want to upload it like I do. Like, these are stall matches, right? Luckily, there's shorter versions of stall matches, but, like, I do still enjoy stall teams. I wish I could make more defensive teams. I haven't been doing that lately. I've been kind of doing, actually, bulky offense, which is kind of a stall team for me, because I still make it with toxic spikes and stuff like that. And, they're still in the works, obviously. I'm just trying to figure them out properly. But, I mean, bulky offense is almost like an aggressive stall team, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. Because basically, I just have a whole bunch of Pokemon that can take a hit, set up on them, and then, just kind of wall them in certain cases. But, yeah, I wish I could show you guys more of this. I know there are a few people. He didn't know actually Spiritomb was type dark, part dark, so he made that mistake there. But this is also a key thing here. When he tries to switch out and I use Pursuit, now you're going to watch the fun part, okay? So, I'm going to have to zip it in about 4 turns, because I have something planned for you guys. But anyways, yeah, definitely give it a try. I mean, give stall a try, because I know a lot of people don't show it, and it is a very viable style of play. But I mean, a lot of people don't like to take the time to watch that long and stuff like this. So I can understand why people don't upload it. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna leave you with this. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the power of stall teams. Comment, rate, and subscribe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this battle. I hope it was educational. That was kind of going off the fly, just adding information randomly in there, but I did try to sound as cohesive as possible. Now, if you guys go watch my previous upload, it will explain that I will be gone for a bit in the ways of uploads, but I'm trying to get uploads for you guys to try and keep this channel alive. But I do promise you, in about 2 weeks, I will be back, and I will be bringing daily uploads. I might have a series set up. They actually ruined one of my series by building the PU tier. I actually had something called Poke Relief, and what I was doing was taking NU hopeless Pokemon and making them into a team and actually having them win in more competitive NU matches. But now they have the PU tier, and it kind of ruined it. I could still bring it if you guys are interested. Like, I still have the team, and I still use it, and it still does well. So, if you guys are interested in that series, definitely, then I will bring it for you guys if you recommend it, or if you suggest it. Also, I am thinking about another Wizards upload. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know as well. And I also have joined League of Legends. If you guys are interested in watching a battle like that, I do have some friends. Darkwing Ducklet said he might eventually start the game sometime in May. So, if you guys are interested in seeing that as well, let me know. Other than that, I'm thinking of a couple of other weeks that I do have planned, but again, I need the week to do it. And in a couple of weeks, because I've been away for so long, I don't want to bring just a series and then leave again. So I'm just going to keep bringing regular uploads, regular battles, just to get some strategy back into this channel again. So, but other than that, have an excellent day, everyone, and I will see you either on PO, or if you guys just want to message me and talk or whatever, find me on Skype, ProPokeNoob. Other than that, my voice will probably not be heard in uploads for the next week. So everyone enjoy yourselves, and I hope to see you in a couple of weeks. Until then, everyone, peace.